Let's arrive. Come to our mat. Be present. Today we'll actually start lying down, rolling onto our backs, our entire back body landing on the mat. Start to tune into how your body is feeling here. Is there any part that you can relax, let melt into the floor? I invite you here to start to close your eyes, to help tune into yourself. Where's your mind right now? Are there many thoughts racing through? Is it a blank slate? Take note of what your mental state is. Finally, how is your breathing? Is it shallow? Is it deep? Are you breathing through your nose, your mouth? What's the quality of your breath? We'll place one hand on our chest, one hand on our belly, and we'll start to sense our breath with our hands. Take a deep, full breath in. See if you can initiate from your belly. Open mouth, exhale. Another deep breath in from the belly, feeling that breath travel up through your chest rising. Exhale it out through the mouth. Start to breathe on your own here. See if you can initiate that inhale from deep within the belly, letting the breath travel up through your chest. And then as you exhale now through your nose, sending the breath out, feeling your belly deflate. Find the breath pace that's right for you. It really allows you to cultivate this relationship, this awareness with your breath. On your next exhale, release your hands by your sides. Open your eyes. Arrive. We have arrived. Bring your feet flat onto the mat, bending the knees. Your heels are just about hips distance apart. And when you place your hands next to you, your middle fingers can lightly graze those heels. If you have a block here, that might be helpful for a supported bridge, but if not, no worries. So you inhale, push your pelvis up towards the ceiling. Engage those quadriceps, engage those glutes. And roll the shoulders underneath you, expanding the chest. If you're using a block here, what you can do is take the block and place it right underneath your tailbone at a height that works for you. Sometimes it can feel nice to have the support in our bridge, and you just let your tailbone rest onto that block. And as you exhale, come back down, remove the block if it's there. Hug your knees into your chest. One more time, feet flat onto the floor, hips width apart. As you inhale, lift your pelvis, engage your legs, open up that chest. Exhale, come back down. And hug your knees into your chest once more, rolling side to side. Start to rock back and forth a few times here. And then we're all going to land onto all fours. Straighten your legs, untuck the toes, and come onto your belly. Lengthen yourself onto your mat. You're now lying on your belly. And let me move these props out of the way here for what we'll do next. Place your forehead onto the mat. Lengthen out your arms on either side of you. And we're going to give our shoulder girdle a little bit of love here. As you inhale, reach your right arm out to the side about shoulder's height. And then bend your left arm and place the hand just right about where your chest is. Start to roll yourself towards your outstretched right arm. Roll, 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 and you're landing on your ear, your temple, as well as the side of your right leg. And this upper leg, your left leg, can reach behind you, and you can place that left foot next to your right thigh. So I moved my props, but they're still kind of in my way, so I didn't do a very good job, but we're essentially stretching our right shoulder girdle here. And for some people, this can feel a little intense. If that's the case, back off of it a little and roll back onto the mat a little bit just to level off that intensity. Keeping your right leg outstretched, your left leg bent behind you. Inhale, coming back to center, moving out the way you came in. We're rolling back onto our bellies. Place your right arm next to you and stretch out your left arm about shoulder's height. Right arm bends. Your right hand is just about at chest level here. We start rolling towards your left arm until we're coming onto the left side body. And you can place your left temple, left ear to the mat. Your right leg now reaches behind you, bending into that knee and placing that foot wherever it lands is fine. And keep that left leg that's straight, slightly flexed in the foot. That's what feels good for me. The inhale brings you back to center. And then just place your forehead onto the mat, arms out long on either side. Breathe here, noticing how you feel in your body. As you inhale, place your hands by your chest and bend into those knees. I'll give a few options here. If you're feeling like your lower back is pretty warmed up, then you can take a hold of the insides of your feet with your hands. Push the feet into the hands, and that will help you lift your thighs and your chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together. If you want to ease into this a little bit more, keep the legs straight, arms by your sides. You can actually clasp those hands behind you. And then lift your chest, lift your feet, lift your arms. Find the back bend here that works for where you're at right now. Keep breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then inhale, exhale it out. As you inhale, just bend into the right leg this time. Use your right hand and take a hold of the inside of that right leg. Your left arm can be either next to your chest or reaching out long in front of you. As you inhale, lift yourself, pushing your right foot into that right hand. Slight lift of the chest here as well. Definitely your right thigh is off the floor. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, release everything. Arms by your side. Placing your right ear onto the mat. Come back to center. Bend into your left leg. Take hold of that left foot with your left hand. Inhale, push that left foot into the hand. Right arm can be next to your chest or extended in front of you. One more breath here. Engage that quadricep. Inhale. Exhale, release everything. Oh, I really felt that one in my left quad, left ear to the mat. You can windshield wiper those feet. That helps give a little bit of release to your lower back. On your next breath, we'll push up to all fours. Come back to child's pose for just a moment. Sinking hips to heels, belly resting between the thighs. As we inhale, we come to all fours. We'll meet in tabletop. You're finding your neutral spine here. Flat back, soft gaze. You inhale, arch the lower back, draw the chest forward. You exhale, pushing the floor away from you, belly button to spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Really take the time here to be intentional about how you want to move your body, to move slowly as you move your spine back and forth, really trying to articulate the shape that you have in your mind for your body. We'll all meet back in neutral. Good. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, step back to plank. Find your plank here. Engage your core, strong plank. One breath in, one breath out. And then push back to downward dog. Where do you feel this downward dog? Might be your first one today. To make it fluid, pressing into the right heel, pressing into the left, straightening one leg and the other. Come back to stillness. As we take a breath in, take a breath out. Just notice what your down dog is telling you about your body. What needs some love today? What needs some attention from you? Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, pull that knee through. Step that foot between the hands. Place the back knee down and untuck the toes. Your left hand is next to your right foot. Turn your chest towards that right leg. Right arm reaches up with. Exhale, right hand back down. You step back to plank, and we'll just draw our left leg forward this time, placing the back knee down, untucking the back toes. Turn your chest towards the left leg. Left arm reaches up. Exhale, left hand back down. Step back to plank. And shift back and forth on your toes and your plank a little bit here. Engage your core. And then step your right foot forward again, placing the back knee down. This time, we'll rise up to our runner's lunge. Experience the sensation of your hips sinking down towards the mat, which might cause your torso to move forward a bit towards that front knee. Your arms can be up by your ears. If you want a little bit more stability, totally fine to place those hands on those thighs. I really feel this one in the front of my legs and also my hips. Maybe you're feeling it in a similar spot or somewhere else. Blocks can be really helpful here to give us some support. So if you're using blocks, place them on either side of your foot and then your hands go on those blocks. And now I'm accessing so much more space to help me round down. Inhale here. And as you exhale, shift back, straightening that front leg, flexing the toes towards the face. This is also a pose where we can feel many different things in our legs. And the further away your hands are from your body, the more of an intense stretch you'll feel here. So inhale, sink back into that front leg. Exhale, extend that leg, flexing the toes towards the face. Inhale, bend into the front leg, sink the hips down. Exhale, straighten the front leg. One more time through. Inhale, bend into the front leg. Exhale, extend. Come back into your runner's lunge. Place the hands on either side of your foot. Step back into plank, and we'll just move the left foot forward this time. Rise up. Arms framing the ears. Hips sinking downward. Tailbone moving downward as well. See if there's something here you can soften. Maybe it's your brow line. Maybe it's your shoulders. If you're using blocks here, you can bring them back onto the mat. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, straighten the front leg, flexing the toes towards your face. Inhale, move forward, bend the front leg. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Once more. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. Bend back into that front leg. Remove the blocks if they're there. Step the left foot back and move back into your downward dog. One breath in downward dog. Exhale through the nose. Walk your feet towards your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, rising tall. Sweeping arms above the head. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Release your hands by your sides. I invite you to close your eyes here in your Tadasana, standing and feeling. Notice what currents are running through your body right now. Open the eyes. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. We're going to step our left foot back, placing our foot down at a 45-degree angle. Your right leg is bent. Finding warrior one here. Sink into that front knee. Your torso, your chest is upright. Your arms are framing your ears. Fingers are strong. Feeling the energy traveling through its fingertips. And as you exhale, place the hands down, step back to plank, and push back to downward dog. Inhale the left leg up. Step that foot through. Right foot at a 45-degree angle, heel onto the mat. Rise up to warrior one on the left side. Find that 90-degree bend in your front knee. Engage the back leg. Engage the quads, the glutes. Finding strength in that back leg all the way from the top of your leg through your calves, your ankles, your foot. Exhale, place the hands down onto the mat, step that left foot back, plank. Optional vinyasa here. If you're doing a vinyasa, you're shifting your chest forward. This can be done on knees or no knees. Move your belly, your chest towards the mat, bending into those elbows. Pull the chest forward. Untuck the toes. Pick yourself up onto all fours and push back to downward dog. Vinyasas are always an option. You can skip them and just come back to downward dog each and every time. We'll all be in downward dog here, taking one full deep breath in. Exhale through the nose. Lift your right leg. Pull that leg through. Place it in between your hands. Rise back up to warrior one. As you exhale, draw your hands to heart center. See if you can pick up that back heel, turning onto your toes. Shift your chest forward a bit towards that front leg and turn your chest towards the right. Place your left elbow outside your right thigh. You're finding your crescent twist here. You can always place your back knee down as well. In either case, press both hands together. As you're pressing your hands together, see if you can lift and rise out of your hips. It allows you to turn your torso, your chest towards the right, finding that opening. Exhale, come back to center. Place your hands onto the mat and lift your back knee if it's on the mat. And then start to pull your your left foot in more so that it's maybe about 3 feet distance from your front leg. And then place your your left foot back onto the mat. Here we're going to use our blocks if you have them. If not, that's totally fine. Just place your hands onto the mat. A couple options here for pyramids that I'll give with and without blocks. So if you're using blocks, place them on either side of your foot, like we were doing in runner's lunge. You're going to place your hands on those blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can come up first, and you can either take a hold of opposite elbows behind you, or if you have the mobility, you can do a reverse prayer behind you, so your palms are touching in this reverse prayer. In either case, find the arm option that works for you. And we'll start bending over that leg, that front leg. And before you completely round down, find the extension in your spine from your tailbone all the way through your back, through your neck and the crown of your head. Really envision that lengthening. And then forward fold. You can remove the blocks if you have them. Placing your hands onto the mat, you can bend into that front leg a bit and start to turn onto your back toes here, lifting your heel. We're shifting ourselves forward until our back leg lifts off of the mat, finding our warrior 3 here. Press into that front foot, maybe finding a slight bend in that knee. Your hands can be placed onto the mat, or again, if you have blocks, those are really helpful here. Placing your blocks where your hands would be, and then placing your hands onto the blocks. And our supported warrior 3, really engage your front leg here. And also engage your back leg. So it's not about how high you lift that back leg, but it's really about flexing your toes and engaging that leg so that you almost feel like with your back foot, you're stamping the wall behind you. One more breath here. Exhale brings you back down to your runner's lunge, placing that back foot onto the mat. Remove the blocks if you're using them. And step back to plank. Optional vinyasa. We'll all meet in downward dog. Take one breath in your downward dog. Noticing if you feel a difference in your right and your left side. And inhale the left leg up. Step that foot through. Find warrior 1. On your left side, rising up. Inhale, draw your hands to your chest. Lift that back heel, Come on to the toes. Shift the chest forward a bit. Turn towards the left and place that right elbow outside the left thigh. Engage that back leg. Press your right elbow into that left thigh, pressing the hands firmly together. Slightly lift out, lift the torso, lift the chest, and turn the chest towards the ceiling. Option to place your back knee down here if you did that on the other side as well. Inhale, come back to center, rise up into crescent just for a moment. Place the back heel down, straighten the front leg, draw that back leg in so that it's about 3 feet apart from your front leg. And here, find the arm variation that works for you. Taking hold of opposite elbows, reverse prayer, blocks on either side of that foot. Inhale, extending the spine all the way from your tailbone through the crown of your head, finding that lengthening. Really being intentional about creating that space in our bodies. And then exhale, forward fold over that front leg. Come onto the back toes again, lifting the heels. Start to shift your body towards that front leg, bending into the left leg until your right leg lifts up behind you. Arm options here, placing the hands onto the mat. We're finding blocks. Engage your legs here in your supported warrior 3. Maybe finding a micro bend in the front leg. Really engaging your glutes, your quads here. Sending that strength down your leg into your foot. Your back leg is engaged as well, in the quads, in the glutes. Pressing that right foot away from you. One more breath here. As you exhale, step that back foot back onto the mat. Coming up just momentarily into our crescent. And then exhale, place the hands down onto the mat. Step the left foot back. Optional vinyasa here. Push back to downward dog. Option to come to child's pose here and rest for a moment. Noticing what's going on with your body. Let's notice what's going on with your mind. Did it create thoughts during this sequence that were judgmental in nature? And just take note of what thoughts you generate. And just let it go. We'll all meet in downward dog. Inhale here. As you exhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, rooting your feet as you rise, reaching the arms above you. Exhale, hands to heart center. You're at the top of your mat. I'll turn towards you so you can see what's going on here. You're in your mountain pose, stable, rooted. Start to root into that right foot as you bend into your left knee. Draw the knee towards the chest. And then turn that knee out and either place that foot onto your ankle, your right ankle, or on your right thigh. Finding tree pose here. Oops. Tree pose, always a practice for us. I think today my body is calling for my foot to be on my right ankle. So just find the version, the variation that works for you here. Your body is different every day. It needs something different every day. If you're feeling steady, you can grow your tree, lifting your arms up overhead, extending the arms like branches. Inhale, drawing the arms back down if you've got them extended, and then placing your left foot onto the mat. We're going to shake it out. Let go of any thoughts that you might have accumulated during that tree pose. Now we'll start to root into the left leg here. Lift your right knee. Turn it out to the side. And place your right foot either on your left ankle or on your left thigh. And heart center. To me, tree pose has been sort of a contradictory pose, as I need to find the rootedness in my feet and that stability. But I also need to have enough flex in my upper body to keep me kind of light. So it's both a rootedness and a lightness that I've discovered in tree pose. Extend your arms if you want to grow your tree. And it's really holding both that lightness and that rootedness in tree pose that makes it work for me. So find what works for you. As you inhale, draw the arms back down and release the leg and shake it out. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold over. Step both feet back. Choose to do your final vinyasa of this practice or not. And we'll meet in downward dog. One full breath in downward dog. And come onto the mat sitting. Bend the knees, feet flat onto the mat. Here, straighten your left leg. Place your right foot outside of that left thigh. And then you can either keep your bottom leg straight or you can bend, placing your your left foot next to your right hip. Grow tall in the spine. Inhale, turning your chest, your torso towards that right side. And place your right hand behind you. Hug your left knee in with your hug your right knee in. I've got my directions all mixed up today. Hug your right knee in with your left arm and turn You want a deeper twist, you can take that left arm, place it outside of that right thigh. Whatever shape you're taking here. If you inhale, see if you can grow a little bit taller in your spine. Exhale, deepen the twist. Inhale, come back to center. We'll straighten both legs out. And then we'll take the left foot, place it outside of our right thigh. Option to keep the bottom leg straight, or you can bend it, placing your right foot next to your left hip. Lengthen through the spine. Left hand comes next to your tailbone. Hug the left knee in with your right arm. Turn towards the left. Option to take that right arm, place it outside of that left thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Inhale brings you back to center. Release the leg, shake it out if you need to. Place your hands next to your hips. Bend into those knees, placing your feet flat onto the mat. And lift your pelvis. You're finding your reverse tabletop here. It's really finding that upward push of your hips that's really going to help you here. Press your feet and mat into the hands. You drop your head back if that's comfortable and it doesn't strain your neck. 1 inch higher with your hips. Press towards the ceiling. Exhale, hips back onto the mat. And straighten the legs. Flex your toes towards your face. If you have a block and you want to elevate your hips a little bit, you can just sit onto a block. Otherwise, find a seat here, flexing your toes towards your face. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, let the hands land where they may. Maybe it's at your ankles. Maybe it's grabbing a hold of the outsides of your feet. Find again the lengthening of your spine. Sort of a quality of expansion in your chest. And then creating that space first really helps us as then we fold over those legs. I just think you can access so much more of this pose if you find the lengthening first. You'll be surprised at how much space you can create just by these little adjustments. Inhale, come back up. And start to roll ourselves onto the mat until we're lying down. Bend into your legs, placing your feet flat onto the floor. Moving into the same supported bridge that we did at the beginning of class. If you have the block, you can use it here. I'd actually encourage it, but if not, no worries. We're going to lift our hips, rolling our shoulders underneath us. As you inhale and you have the strength in your legs, maybe you lift your right leg extending it towards the ceiling, flexing into that right foot. Exhale, placing that leg down. Lift your left leg, flex into the left foot. Inhale, come back down, placing the left foot onto the mat. And slowly roll down. Keeping your left leg bent, take your right foot and place the right ankle onto that left thigh, keeping the right foot flexed. You inhale. You can try to straighten, see if this works, your left leg, or keep it at a 90-degree bend. Take your hands, clasp them behind the left thigh. You're using your hands to draw the left thigh closer to your chest. Use that right elbow. Gently press the right knee away from you. Exhale, placing that left foot back down, placing your right foot down. Keep the right leg bent. Place the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Hands clasped behind the right thigh, keeping that right leg bent or straightened. Use the hands, draw your right thigh towards your chest. Left elbow gently presses the left knee away from you. I'm feeling a nice gentle stretch in the outside of my left hip here. You might be feeling it here. You might be feeling it somewhere else. Exhale, place the foot down, straighten out both legs, and shake out those feet. Stay onto the mat. And take any last poses here that you need to feel complete. We're all going to meet in the final resting pose, or Shavasana. Closing your eyes here, relaxing everything in our bodies. One of the reasons yoga is beautiful for me is it really allows me to explore this theme of intentionality. As we hold poses and in the in-between moments before we transition to our next pose, it really gives us the space to pause, to think about how we want to get into that next pose. When we take the space and the time for ourselves, what is it that we really want to say? What is it that we really want to do? In that moment, in that pause, when we are deciding whether we say and do what we really want, or we say and do what's expected of us, can we choose to be intentional in that moment? And stay in your rest for as long as you'd like. When you're ready to move on, rise up to a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. Taking a moment here to notice what's shifted in your body, what's shifted in your mind. How does it feel to be able to receive and to give yourself more space, more pauses, more opportunities to be intentional? As I inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, feel your practice, drawing your hands to heart center. I want to thank you for practicing with me today. It is an honor to guide you through your yoga practice. Namaste.